Hello, and welcome back to Nathan Bell's podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Today, Nate would like to talk about the progress of technology.
Right, today I'm going to talk a bit about the progress of technology. Me and my creative writing mentor Tom Parlow from Reliability worked together yesterday, and we had a really interesting discussion about the progress of technology in a very specific context. We were talking about whether technology will evolve in the same way for aliens as it did for us. I'm of the view there will be great similarity throughout the universe, as well as variety, and Tom disagrees with me to some extent, and also partly agrees with me. So, I put it to Tom basically this. If you've seen the movie Arrival, where the aliens come down and introduce themselves, you'll observe in the movie Arrival that they're squids. They're a squid species, so presumably they're an underwater species. And I put it to Tom that I don't think an underwater species can evolve or get to the point of space travel because they can't use fire. So I basically said, because they can't use fire because they live in an underwater environment, regardless of how intelligent they are, because we know that octopus are very intelligent and we know that dolphins are very intelligent, because they can't use fire, they can't progress to mechanical technology and the Industrial Revolution, and therefore they can't progress to electrical technology, they can't progress to computers, and they also can't progress to combustion engines and rockets and things that will propel a craft out into space, having come from an underwater environment. Now, Tom disagreed with that, and he said there may be ways for them to make that progression. And anyway, then we started talking about whether it's a progression towards organic computers, and at the moment humanity is in electrical computers, and will the next step be organic computers? That is to say, you would grow a blank brain in the lab, and then you would connect the brain up to relevant software and computers and stuff, and use the brain as a part of the computer to process information. And theoretically, you could have a spaceship which was organic spaceship made out of organic matter, which you were in control of, which you had grown or developed somehow, if this technology is possible, and the ship would actually be alive, and there could be other technology which you use computers and stuff which would actually be living tissue, and like neural matter, which was processing information for you, and which you're in control of, but it would be organic. So that's organic computers, and the question me and Tom came to ask is, can you reach organic computers without first going through mechanical computers and electrical computers? So basically what we were talking about was there are these different phases, right? There's no computers, no engineered technology. Then there's mechanical technology, which is like a clock, for example. A clock is mechanical technology, and like a catapult, which they used as a weapon, is mechanical technology, and then there's electrical technology, and then there's organic technology. And so the question is that me and Tom came to in this discussion about the progress of technology is, can you get to organic computers without first going through mechanical computers? Can you even get to electrical computers without first going through mechanical computers? And back to the aliens in Arrival, I determined that Tom is correct to some extent, that perhaps an underwater species can get to space travel through mechanical technology, because mechanical technology without electrical components will work underwater. So perhaps there is a way to get to space travel, being a highly intelligent underwater species, by going through mechanical technology. The question is, will electrical technology work underwater, and do the aliens from Arrival, do you need electrical technology to get to space travel? And I would say you do need electrical technology to get to space travel. You need computers to get to space travel because you need to be able to calculate all of these variables necessary to engineer a spacecraft and to consider how to travel through space. So I would say you need to get to electrical computers before you can get to space travel. Tom seems to think you can do all that through mechanical technology. I don't know if you can invent mechanical computers, and there's that old mechanical computer that was found, which is a mystery item, which is like 2,000 years old. It does exist. It's a mechanical computer that calculates something about the stars. And so the question is, how well can you calculate with a mechanical computer, and how far can mechanical technology go? Can it get you to space travel? And Tom seems to think mechanical technology can get you to organic computers, but I think you've got to go through mechanical and then electrical technology before you can get to organic computers. So we were talking a bit about this is our discussion about the progress of technology, and this is how you got to think about it if you want to understand how things actually work. Because people like to speculate a lot about what the future will be like and what technology will exist, and for example, what technology advanced alien civilizations would have. But you have to understand that some things just don't work, and people come up with all of these wild hypotheses about what technology might exist and what technology won't exist. But the reality is some things just don't work within the way the universe works. So you've got to ask all these questions. So it was a good example to talk about the aliens from Arrival being a squid underwater species, and whether a squid underwater species, regardless of how intelligent they are, could actually get to space travel given their environment and the lack of ability to use fire for engineering, and the difficulty in getting electrical circuitry to work in an underwater environment. With those things in holding them back with their development, would they actually be able to get to a point where they could build a spaceship that would work to get them to another planet? So I sort of dismiss the aliens in Arrival being squids, and I say it's silly and I hadn't really considered it properly. But my creative writing mentor Tom, who's a very intelligent man, disagrees with me and feels you could get to that level through mechanical computers which would work underwater. But you see, this is how you've got to understand it. So you've got to consider these things if you want to assess whether certain technologies will actually work. You've got to understand, not everything can work. Some science fiction-y people go, oh, that could be, all these things could be. Well, some things couldn't be. Some things just don't work. And so, understand these variables and consider whether things are actually practical and whether they can actually work. And that's a good example of that, the example I just gave about the squid species who are very intelligent and travel between the stars. Some things just don't work. So could you get to mechanical computers underwater? Then could you get to electrical computers underwater? Then could you get to organic computers underwater? Is that possible, or does that just not work? So have a think about that when you're thinking about sci-fi stuff about alien technology and advanced technology, and study technology and how it works a bit, and you'll come to a more comprehensive understanding of what can and can't work, and it'll make you a better science fiction author, right? So drop a comment in the comment section about what you thought about that.